Have you ever realized that one day your child is going to stop asking you to play? That's something that I realized yesterday. I was actually in a restaurant having a little artist day with myself. So every week I pick a place. Sometimes I do something like I have a class for fashion, or I have a pottery class, something like that. And sometimes it's just me going to the beach and crafting something, but it's very intentional. And yesterday, I made that space to do that as well. I went to a local restaurant here, and I had this whole plan because I wanted to make a series about these artist days that I have with myself. But I was just like not really feeling it. It's like, okay, this is the time we're here. I have time. We can do this. And I was like, no, no, I don't want to. And so I connected with that inner child because the whole thing about having an artist day is about having that time with that inner child that is still within, and have that one-on-one time with her, and sometimes with him, right? Depending on if you're a guy or a girl. But, and I asked her, what's up? She's like, I'm tired. I go, okay, I get that. I don't want to do this, he said. I'm like, And then she said, you're trying to do two things at the same time. You're trying to, cover up our one-on-one time with, squeezing in this little thing that you kind of also want to do. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's what I'm doing. And I said, what do you want to do? And she said, I want to create something. Like, I just want to draw. I just want to have a pen and paper, ideally colors, but I just want to draw. And so I went to this guy who works there, and I'm like, hey, do you have some kind of paper, a pen? Do you maybe, sometimes in restaurants they have a section for kids where, they can color and stuff, but they didn't have that. But he came with a notepad and a pen, and I just started doodling. And it wasn't about art. It wasn't about how pretty it was. There was no, there was not really an idea of what I was doing. I was just doing something. Eventually, what I created was the word presence. Interesting, huh? And I started to make flowers around it and leaves, and it looked really cute. But the thing was, he just wanted really that undivided attention. And then I realized, like, oh my God, look at this. I have the chance to connect with her whenever I want. Oftentimes we're just too busy, right? Which is why I have these intentional dates. But at the same time, I have a little one. There's going to be a day where he's going to stop asking me to play with him. And right now he's 7, and he's still asking me, hey, Mom, can we play? Etc., etc. Even that night, and that's why I was inspired to share this, he was playing dodgeball, and he was with his dad, and he was like, hey, Mom, tomorrow, because I will have him now, I want to make soap. And because during Christmas, instead of buying him all kinds of cool stuff, my mom and my sister did that. I bought him all kinds of crafts. And one of the crafts that I bought him were like basically everything you need to create soap. And I've never done it before, so I really had to look it up, like, what do you need? So I bought everything from, like aroma stuff, coloring stuff, to dried flowers, and all, basically even a stamp so that we can brand it for him. But long story short, he said that, and I was like, yeah, I'm so grateful that I still get the chance to play with him. When I became a mom, it was something that I really had to adjust to, because that's actually what kids love doing most, right? They want to have playtime with mommy and daddy. And I think everything about motherhood I loved, except for one thing, and that was how tired I was. Like, I need my sleep, and I was breastfeeding, so I had no sleep. Waking up every night and all of that, and last thing I wanted during the day was to play. So I really had to force myself into that a lot of times, and I would feel guilty about that too if I would say no. And I started to really make conscious decisions about my life so that I could be more present with him. And it really shaped my life because I'm like, well, he is so important to me and I know how fast it goes. I really want to be very intentional and present in his life. And so that's how I made certain choices that enabled me to be that parent. But when it comes to play, he loves like very boyish stuff. Like he loves the cars and he loves Lego. And I would find things that we jointly would like. Like I love building stuff. So Lego for sure. We always had blocks when he was little. So I would make this entire town for him. Puzzles we both loved. And I introduced him to art, like all kinds of art, like coloring and painting and just cutting things. And it showed that he loves that too. So that's something that we have in common and something that I very intentionally do. So when he said, Mom, let's, make soaps, at first I was like, I'm not really feeling it. And now I'm like, yeah, what a privilege. What a privilege it is that when I pick him up, that's the first thing we're going to do. Or we're going to bond and we're going to do this. And the thing is, once you're in that zone, it actually is something that you as an adult maybe even need it most. It's like that Buddha saying of, when you're busy or when you're stressed or whatever, and instead of meditating for 10 minutes, do it for an hour or do it for 20 hours. Like, it's like, then you really need to like drop everything and just be in a zone. And I always feel so relaxed when I'm in that zone. So, this is just a perspective shift, like whenever you feel like you have to show up for your kid and it feels like a sacrifice. It doesn't have to take hours, sometimes just 15 minutes of that real one-on-one time is everything. But these are the moments that one day you're going to look at and you're going to be happy and grateful that you took that time to be present and to play and really be in that energy. I oftentimes take him to a beautiful grass field where all the local restaurants are, and then we play some kind of sport, like it's either catching a ball or using a frisbee, whatever it is. But we're always having so much fun, and it's actually addictive. And now that I think about it, it's like, I want to do this. But when I'm alone, there's nothing in me that's like, oh, let's do that, But it's more like when I'm with him, I think like, wait, what can we do together? And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't have to cost anything, right? Like once I have these crafts, and I was like, we can always craft something. The other day we were crafting like these, I made from toilet rolls. I started making something during one of my own personal artist dates at the beach, and he saw it and he was like, Mom, I want to learn how to do that. And I had some toilet rolls left because I kind of always save it because we're pretty artisty, right? We love doing stuff with the hands. And so we did it together. But the funny thing is, it's not that easy. And then I noticed that he just kind of checks off. But the thing is, the 15 minutes that we started doing it, he was present and he liked it. And I think that is so blissful and so beautiful. Anyway, this was a short little episode. Like, what are we in? I think, 8 minutes. Not that short. But yeah, I wanted to share that. And I'm going to pick him up in like 30 minutes. So I'm probably going to put a little aftermath while you guys see us creating the art as we speak. Have a beautiful day, beautiful week, because I'm gonna post this on Monday, and I see you tomorrow. Bye. Figo, let's do this. So is het nu la? Volgens mij moeten we nog een beetje nog doen. Ja, ja. Zullen we deze